At this point, someone needs to check on Victoria just to be sure that our head is in the right space. Because something happened last night between herself and Sooj, and then there was a conversation between her and Wani X Handy, and it got me wondering, like, is this girl okay? Like, is she okay being in the house? Because I just do not get it anymore. See, we've made a lot of speculations, we've formulated theories about this girl and the game that she and her partner Sean are likely playing. But from the look of things yesterday, guys, nah, I'm no longer sure. And I'll tell you why on this video, right? So please make sure you watch till the end. Now, aside Victoria, there was also the strategic conversation between TJ and his partner, Ben. These guys are really standing on business this week. They are already planning towards all the Monday Madness challenges that is coming up next week. And aside planning, they have already started strategizing on possible options, you know, for their save, and if they luckily win the title of custodians. In that conversation, there were certain gist they were spilling, which I found quite interesting, and I'm going to share as well on this video. I'm going to be sharing all of this details on this video, so please watch till the end. Do not skip out on any part. Guys, please do not forget to like this video, give this video a thumbs up just to let me know if you enjoy my content. All right, and yeah, you're all welcome to my channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the T. Without further ado, let's dive right into the details of this video, beginning with Victoria. On one of my videos yesterday, I had expressed my relief and excitement at the fact that she had started exploring friendships and connections in the house. You know, she had stepped out of her comfort zone to have more conversations with some of the girls. There was Onyeka and there was also Nelly. Yes, they had quite some lengthy conversations, really sharing about their background and some of their struggles in the house. And I'd also mentioned that Victoria had gone ahead to share that during the lockdown with Sean, they were quite chill, they were okay, but the moment they got into the house, she doesn't know what happened, that somehow she feels out of place. I'd shared the details of those conversations on that video. Please check it out if you missed out on it. But after the immunity challenge, you know, the nomination process, and Big Brother had announced that all the housemates, with the exception of those with immunity, were up for nomination or possible eviction again this week, it seemed like Victoria fell back into that dark hole of misery. So she was looking miserable yesterday. She was just withdrawn, was just basically in her shell. And then Sooj, who had actually had a conversation earlier, no, that was Sunday evening, he had a conversation with Sean that he was going to try to motivate her to spread her wings more and try to connect with the player in her, you know, to leverage on all the attractions and attentions that she's getting from most of the male housemates, you know, use it to her advantage to play the game, you know, just to live a little, have fun, explore the house more. Sooj had kept to his word and had gone ahead to try to engage her in a conversation, even opening himself to her that, listen, no, you're not alone in this house. If you want to talk, I'm here. Guys, it was so embarrassing the way Victoria reacted to that conversation. Like, she sat down, listened to his preamble speech, and she looked at him, you know, with her poker face, expressionless face. She looked at him and said, "Thank you, I'll be fine." And then she stood up and walked away. That was it. She just stood up and walked off. I'm like, wait. Is Victoria giving us attitude challenge? You guys, if you go on TikTok, there's this funny challenge on TikTok. You know what they do? Attitude and walk off. So I'm like, hold on a second. Is that the attitude challenge? Because guys, that was some wild attitude right there. And I kind of felt bad for Sooj. I was embarrassed on Sooj's behalf, because if I try to extend a hand of care, or should I say concern to you, and you treat me like that, you're your own, I will not try again. You know, and Sooj was really embarrassed. You guys, were so funny that both Fairme and Topher were laughing so hard. Like, Sooj was like, guys, was so embarrassing. Now, that wasn't the only one, though. So, I mean, it really hurt Sooj, because later on, his partner, Topher, was trying to understand, like, to get the tea, dude, what happened? And he was explaining that that CEO, it was only trying to help. It was only trying to get her to talk, more like build a connection with her in the house. And she just, wow, you know. And Sooj decided that, well, it's going to let her be, you know, so it doesn't look as if he's trying to force himself on her. And speaking about the same Victoria, later on, she was in the garden by herself, and it looked like she was, guys, I don't know. You know that girl, you can't really read her body language. You can't, she's so put together. Yeah, she's so well put together, so unbothered, so unruffled. You can't even see her frown. It's like she was right there in the garden. And that was when the Wani X Handy twins joined her, and then they were having this motivational conversation. The twins were trying to motivate her, you know, to just be herself, you know, talk to people more and whatnot. And they were telling her, oh, just understand yourself first, so that people will not look at you and say, oh, you're being a snob, you're being proud, you don't want to talk to people. And see, frankly speaking, I listened to that conversation. I just felt like the twins were just wasting their time, because trust me, Victoria is not a child. By now, she understands that this season is not really about basketball. It's about being in the good books of your fellow housemates. If they like you, they save you. If they don't like you, you stand the chance of going home. You are literally at the mercy of your fellow housemates. So I kind of felt, you know, bad. Like, if she has this knowledge, why is she still keeping herself away from her fellow housemates? What could be the problem? Is she depressed? Is she feeling out of place in that house? Does she want to go home? And you see, looking at the event of last night, it started making me doubt this pairing system, because you see, this is what we're talking about during our conversations about expectations for this new season, right? I mean, now it's beginning to look like Victoria might stay for a long time in the game without even doing anything, without lifting a finger, without having conversations, without just simply existing in that house with a pretty face. She just might stay in that house for the longest time. Yeah, but and it's going to be because of Sean, because Sean is pulling the weight. Sean is doing everything by virtue of his conversations with every other housemate or every other pair, because of his ship with Wani. Yes, even though it's quite obvious that he's not really feeling the ship, but dude is just doing it to create content and also for camera time, whilst his partner is just literally there, just existing. So ladies and gentlemen, if that is going to be the case, then I don't know. I don't know what the fate of the season will be. But let me know what you think about this Victoria's mood. Do you think it's part of a strategy, or do you think she's actually depressed and really wants to go home? Now, moving on to TJ and Ben's conversation. As I mentioned earlier, these two young men were strategizing, you know, ahead of the next week's games and challenges, not just for the Head of House challenge, but also for the title of custodians. Now, they were, you know, weighing their options, you know, with regards to the pair that they would choose as guests if they won the Head of House title next week. And from their conversation, they were trying to choose a pair strategically, a pair that they could have conversations with, you know, a pair that they could build further alliance with in the house. And so they were naming all the pairs that they were on good terms with, and just seeing their chances of if they can achieve what they want to achieve. And they concluded that the Flourish pair was actually perfect, because DJ Flo is kind of neutral, although she is Chinwe's friend. She was in Chinwe's camp, but from the look of things, it seems like the camp is falling out. Yes, and that is because of how Chinwe overreacted because she and her boyfriend Zion were not voted for by most people she had told to vote for them, you know, to emerge the head of house. So from the observation, the camp is falling apart. Nelly, that used to be their friend, has started coming to their own bedroom away from their room, you know, just to get away from that toxicity, you know. So for them, DJ Flo and Ruthie were actually perfect for the plans that they have. Now, it was in that same conversation that Ben had started ranting about Chinwe's bias. According to him, he has noticed that since they got into this house, Chinwe does preferential treatment with certain people every time it was time for her to dish out food. Guys, Ben had the tea and was about to start spilling, only for cameraman or woman to just move the cameras away from them. Guys, I was so pissed. I was so pissed because that gist was coming on strong. But I wasn't really surprised because on one or two occasions, I've actually witnessed it for myself. You know, Chinwe dishing out food, and then when she was going to give food to Zion, her boyfriend, she'd actually topped up the plate, added more and more. And I was just looking at her like, what's going on here? I thought this food was for everybody. But anyways, that was that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to stop talking. Yes, please let me know your thoughts about all I have shared on this video. Share in the comment section below your thoughts. And I'll see you guys on another video soon. Have an amazing day. Bye.